Moving into an apartment can be a difficult transition from living at home or living in the dorms, especially grocery shopping. I know I was overwhelmed by all of the choices when I first moved into an apartment. That's why some of the experts here at H-E-B are going to give us some tips on how to pick out produce and meat. Produce manager Andrew Garcia said when you go to the grocery store, knowing how to pick the right produce and having a list can make all the difference. Here are some of the tips he gave us for how to pick the best produce.
The first thing in picking an avocado is not to squeeze it, because once you've squeezed that avocado, when it ripens, it's going to have a black scar where your thumbprint is. So what you want to look for is a brown color and a nice shiny skin, and it needs to be heavy for its size. The way you pick out a cantaloupe is to look at the cantaloupe and make sure that the mesh goes all the way around the cantaloupe. And then what you want to do is it has to give a little on the blossom end. If you're having issues with purchasing bananas and they are getting ripe within the next day or so, what you might want to do is buy a few that you can eat in the next couple of days, and then also purchase the green ones, which will ripen in the next 3 or 4 days, and that will save you from having to discard the overripe bananas.
I've got my produce. Now let's head over to the meat department and see what we can learn.
The more fat, the more flavor. If you're grilling hamburgers, you'll want something with a little more fat, like a ground chuck. If you're doing chili or any kind of stewed soups, you can go with something leaner. Color of the meat itself, you want a lighter colored steak. After you found that, you'll want to look for marbling. You want more marbling. The intermuscular fat is a good thing. It'll keep the steak moist, and it's a little more forgiving on the grill, or however you want to cook it, in a pan or in the oven. You can do all three. If you buy bulk, you can always take whatever you're not using, and you want to get rid of all the air. You know, put it in a Ziploc bag, seal the air, and you can keep it for up to 6 months in the freezer as long as it's sealed properly.
Pitts also said if you're ever shopping in H-E-B and you have any questions, all you have to do is ask. Reporting for LTVN, I'm Riley Sievers.